Aloha, and welcome to the finale showcase of the American Heart Association's Hawaii Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve Petranek, editor of Hawaii Business Magazine, and I'm honored to support the important work of the Hawaii division of the American Heart Association. I'm especially excited about this Business Accelerator program and its support of the social entrepreneurs who are working to improve the health of people in the islands. Each of these 8 social entrepreneurs are heroes. They have completed a 6-week MBA-style program and will be able to continue their work more effectively in the future based on this training. Each of them has impressed their teachers with their creativity and talent. In a few minutes, you will be seeing their extraordinary business proposals. One of these talented candidates will get a $25,000 grant to advance their vital efforts, and a second candidate will receive $10,000. Plus, a fan favorite that you will be voting on will receive $5,000. You'll help select that fan favorite, so stand by to cast your vote. For all those watching, please use Zoom's chat feature at any time during this webinar to shout out encouragement and support for your favorite candidate. It's a big evening for them, so they welcome your support. We will also be asking questions of our audience. It's a simple poll, and we'd love you to participate. Simply select your response as our questions appear on your Zoom screen. The American Heart Association believes every person deserves the opportunity for a full, healthy life. The association is working hard to overcome the social determinants of health and the structural racism that harms the hearts, the brains, and the lives of so many people in Hawaii, across the nation, and even around the world. We see these inequities all around us, and we must not look away. We see how people's circumstances hurt their health, whether it is because of less education, reduced access to healthcare and other care, low income and low wealth, where they live. All of those things impact your health, and all of them go a long way to deciding if you die long before you should. But it does not have to be that way. And the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator is an important step in overcoming these disparities. The 8 social entrepreneurs you will meet tonight are already working to reduce disparity in their communities. And they have answered the Heart Association's call to improve the quality of life for people across Hawaii. Mahalo nui loa to the team that has created and guided the Empowered to Serve Hawaii Accelerator. They have worked hard and with enthusiasm. You know, to create this accelerator, this project at any time would have been impressive, but to do it during the pandemic is truly phenomenal. Here's something else that is impressive for this inaugural program. They received 23 applicants in a record time. Now, the select group of 8 candidates who are presenting their business proposals this evening, they're offering community-centered solutions that seek to change behaviors, expand access to resources, to improve the long-term health of Hawaii residents by overcoming systemic challenges. In a moment, you'll get to meet our 3 judges also, who had the impossible task of choosing from among these 8 proposals and seeing who will receive the grants of $25,000, $10,000, and $5,000. First, mahalo to the sponsor and supporter of the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator Hawaii. Thank you, Kamehameha Schools. Joining us is Lauren Name, Vice President of Strategy and Transformation for Kamehameha Schools, to explain why Kamehameha supports programs like this.
Mahalo, Steve. Aloha ahi ahi kako, and mahalo for joining us this evening for Hawaii's first ever Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator. For those of you who aren't familiar, Kamehameha Schools is a Native Hawaiian and Christian school, and our mission is to fulfill Princess Bernice Pauahi Bishop's desire to create educational opportunities in perpetuity to improve the capability and well-being of people of Hawaiian ancestry. We are also a steward of commercial, agricultural, and conservation lands across the state. And one of our main strategic 2025 goals is to engage with communities to educate and empower Oiwi leaders to build resilient economies. In other words, we believe that our current and next generation of leaders in our community have the value set, the passion, the connection, and the ingenuity to solve the challenges of our day, like health equity, with the right support and attention. We were so excited to learn about AHA's focus on the same issue as part of their 10 commitments for 2024, bringing forth a great reason to join forces. We are proud to be a supporter of AHA's mission and programs like this Accelerator, which promotes small business development and much needed support for our entrepreneurs. As you will see, our local innovators, some of whom will be showcased tonight, are precious gems to be cultivated and invested in. They are the social change agents, as Steve mentioned, that will find the most equitable and sustainable ways to address critical basics that have evaded us, including health, nutrition, and economic security. We are grateful for the many applicants that have applied into this program, and we know that while not all will win the prize this time, rest assured that there will be many more opportunities for our entrepreneurs who are a part of this. It was so inspiring for us to see so many talented and passionate leaders who are rising up with such innovative ways to address the health of our community in such critical times. To you, our audience, look forward to being inspired and motivated together with us tonight. Thank you for joining us. And now back to our Master of Ceremonies, Steve. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Lauren. And thank you to Kamehameha Schools for supporting this valuable program. Before we introduce our judges, a question for you in the audience to test your knowledge of some of the deadliest problems in Hawaii. Here's our poll question number 1. What percentage of adults in Hawaii have one or more chronic conditions such as high blood pressure, heart attack, and also call that heart disease, stroke, and other conditions? So what is the total percentage of Hawaii's people have one or more of these conditions? Is the correct answer A, 20%? Is it B, 50%? C, 64%? Or 80%? I'm sure all of us know someone who has died from a heart attack or stroke or been incapacitated by one. Yet I think many of us will be surprised by just how often people suffer from these chronic conditions. These conditions killed both of my parents, so I have seen the terrible toll firsthand. Maybe you have too. Have we had enough time, or do we need some more time to give people to choose those answers? Let's review the answers one more time. So A, 20% of Hawaii's adults have one of these chronic health conditions. B, 50%, C, 64%, or D, 80%. Which of these answers is correct? Have we had enough time to see the results? Yes, the answer is C, 64%. That is almost 2/3 of Hawaii's adults. Now, one way we can address these chronic conditions is to identify the social determinants of health that hold back our communities and hold back our people. Tonight, we will hear from change makers who are reshaping our environments. They're reshaping our policies and our systems to support wellness and improve the quality and the years of life for Hawaii's people. As a reminder, today's second place candidate will receive a $10,000 grant. The first place candidate will receive a $25,000 grant and move on to the national Empowered to Serve Accelerator for an opportunity to receive additional funding. For all of you who are watching tonight, you will have an opportunity to vote for your favorite after all the candidates have presented. And when the judges leave the call to deliberate and to decide on our number one and number two candidates, the fan favorite will receive a $5,000 grant. The fan favorite link is in the chat now, but you won't be able to use it until all the presentations are completed. Now let's talk about our judges. We have 3 wonderful leaders from our community who have accepted the difficult task of selecting the grant awardees. It is my pleasure to introduce them. First is my friend and colleague, Cheryl Onsey, publisher of Hawaii Business Magazine. Cheryl oversees sales, marketing, digital design, content, events, and me. Our events include the Leadership Conference, Top 250 Black Book, and Wahine Forum. Cheryl serves on the board of the American Lung Association in Hawaii and the Patsy T. Mink Center for Business and Leadership. Cheryl, it's great to have you here. Thank you, Cheryl. Now we have Bella Hughes, co-founder and head of mission and innovation at Shaka Tea, an award-winning line of sustainably sourced herbal teas brewed with Hawaiian mamaki leaves. Hughes spends most of her time focused on championing abundance in her community through the arts, agriculture, and supporting women entrepreneurs. Mahalo, Bella, for your work. Our third judge is Kimmy Timpson, project manager at Kamehameha Schools. Kimmy works with the team at Kamehameha Schools to lead the Agnes Kalani Ho'okaha Community Learning Center project at the Nanakuli Village Center. This center will support Aina-based programs, career development, and training, plus provide a home for lifelong learning opportunities for Native Hawaiians and those in the surrounding community. Mahalo to Kimmy and all our judges for serving. We appreciate you for volunteering your time to support this business accelerator. Now let's learn what the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator program is all about.
In the United States, nearly half of all adults have some form of cardiovascular disease, often caused by the lack of access to the most basic needs. Needs such as healthy food, clean air and drinking water, quality education, transportation, employment, and housing. The American Heart Association is committed to making a difference in community health. As a result, the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator supports entrepreneurs who design solutions to improve health in their under-resourced communities. Our goal? To address health disparities and create health equity for all. Over the past 4 years, the Business Accelerator has trained close to 50 social entrepreneurs nationwide and provided over $500,000 in grant funding. Media outlets such as CNN and Fast Company magazine have recognized and highlighted the great work our candidates have accomplished. Now, in the midst of the global pandemic, our communities are experiencing even more challenges. The American Heart Association is proud to support, uplift, and help scale innovative solutions and the changemakers behind them during this difficult time. It is our goal to find the brightest social innovators around the world. We are excited to support and help scale the visionary ideas of the entrepreneurs who will be sharing their ideas with all of us today. Get ready to be inspired.
Yes, you see that. What you see on your screen is absolutely correct. Nearly half of all Americans have some form of cardiovascular disease, and it's often caused by the lack of access to the most basic needs. Now it's time to meet the candidates who are designing solutions to fight back against those challenges and doing it right here in Hawaii. Now, tonight's event is not a traditional pitch competition. You're about to witness courage, passion, and resilience in action as each of these 8 entrepreneurs present their compelling business stories. Our judges interviewed each of them during an expo event. Candidates presented the details of their business model, how it can be scaled to help many people, and the level of community impact that they can expect from their work. The judges engaged with each candidate one-on-one with questions and heard their answers. They were evaluating these business models. And one of the questions they were answering, and they were asking themselves and the candidates, how big will your impact be? How can you help change and save lives? Today, the candidates will be sharing their business story with the judges and with all of you, and explain how they will help improve health equity across our state, and especially among our under-resourced communities. Our candidates have been preparing for this moment for weeks. So let's hear from our first candidate, Nikki Ann Yee. Nikki Ann and her sisters founded Ma'i Movement Hawaii to raise awareness about menstrual equity and period poverty in Hawaii, so all individuals of menstruation age have the right to access menstrual products and education without financial burden, shame, or stigma.
Mahalo for being here. I'd like to take you through a short exercise so we can all get on the same page. Can you please grab some water? You don't need a lot, just, 1 to 2 tablespoons. I have my water here and I'm happy to use a cup, but you can also use something small like a measuring cup or a shot glass. Now take your water and I want you to pour it on your shorts or your pants or whatever you're wearing and feel the water soaking through. Now, I'm sure you're thinking this is crazy, but please bear with me. You're doing this in the comfort of your home or wherever you're viewing this recording. The water will dry up in no time. Now close your eyes. Imagine that instead of water, this is menstrual blood, maybe mixed with some clots and tissue. It's between your legs, and it just happened without warning, without control, and you may not even know why it's happening. It could be when you're at your office, sitting in class, buying groceries, or riding the bus or metro. Now I want you to think, if you're a menstruator, how does this make you feel? Does it bring up feelings of maybe panic, anxiety? If you don't bleed and you don't get your period, can you imagine if this were your child, your wife, maybe even your boss, having their period and not knowing what to do or how to handle it? Aloha, my name is Nikki Ann Yee, and I'm co-founder of Ma'i Movement Hawaii, a local grassroots organization I started with my sisters, Brandy and Jamie, in October of 2020. Our mission is to end period poverty in Hawaii and address menstrual inequity. It is the inadequate access or limited access to menstrual products or menstrual health education due to financial constraints, socio-cultural stigmas around menstruation, or not having period-friendly sanitation facilities or running water. But I'm not here to talk about spilled water. I'm here to talk about periods. What you experienced and felt in the short exercise we did at the start was what half the population feels and experiences for an average of 40 years. We're all adults and professionals here, so we recognize that this is a completely normal bodily function. Yet a large part of the global population, heck, even in Hawaii and nationally, still don't treat it that way, and sometimes even unknowingly. But what if we could change that? What if there was a better way to talk about menstruation, to deal with it, so that we could have a powerful impact on public health, education, and the economy? I present our locally driven masterclass on menstruation with access to sustainable Ma'i management and products. Like what Gordon Ramsay and Alicia Keys did for cooking and singing. But this is a class on dignity in menstruation. When we piloted our Sustainable Ma'i program, the objective was to deliver menstruation management education that was gender inclusive and locally inspired virtually, while also giving participants access to their own choice of reusable product, like period underwear, a cup, and also a cloth pad. Now, here's what we found. A majority of the participants preferred online self-paced modules. They found the content was extremely enriching and they were satisfied with the delivery. One respondent and participant said that not only were the learning materials great to learn about these products, but also about her body. And she appreciated because we didn't shy away from teaching women about themselves. Now, think about that. Our education about our bodies, about this very basic and normal bodily function, is not being taught widely. Our masterclass would teach anyone who wants to learn about what's happening with their bodies, how to manage it, and more importantly, why we need to break down the barriers. It's education and dignity wrapped in a beautifully filmed and presented masterclass, and free and accessible to anyone, regardless of race, gender, socioeconomic background. And at the end, participants can access any period product that they want, because what we value and what is the most important is making sure everyone has access to knowledge, empowering them with that knowledge and that choice. So we take down all the barriers, the financial, the education, and the access, so that girls, women, and people who menstruate can live full lives and be productive members of society. Menstrual health is an indicator of overall health, and we need to take it seriously when it comes to access to resources, education, and making a radical shift in the way that we think about it. I saw glimpses of hope when we ran our school pilot. Menstruating and non-menstruating students alike became desensitized to the topic. They felt more confident, more empowered to make decisions about themselves and also for their peers. Now, that pilot, as you may know, became and paved the way for the bill, which is going to be signed into law by the governor on Monday. And it's because of that, I truly believe that when we can tackle, when we can humanize, when we can fully understand the most basic part of ourselves and humanity, we can make profound change. All it takes is one class, one person to make a small shift in our mindset, and it would have a profound impact on future generations, the way they look inwards to themselves and outwards to society. Mahalo nui loa.
Thank you, Nikki Ann. And thank you to you and your team for your important efforts to end period poverty in Hawaii. I wish every male in Hawaii could see that video, because it's clear that men do not understand this issue and they need to. Our second candidate is Spencer Vanderkamp. Spencer's passion is fishing. And as the pandemic took its toll on the fishing industry in Hawaii, he co-founded the Reeler mobile app, which provides a virtual marketplace to order fish directly from small-scale fishers at affordable prices.
I'm a co-founder of the Reeler app. Throughout college, I was a semi-commercial fisherman fishing off the windward coast of Oahu. Fishing is a very difficult job, long hours, harsh weather, dangerous conditions, and unlike most jobs, with fishing, a paycheck isn't guaranteed. One of the biggest challenges about fishing that most people don't consider, however, is the challenge of marketing our catch once we're back to the dock. Our biggest issue is low and variable prices of our hard-earned catch, especially when the pandemic hit. All of the hotels and restaurants were closed, so the prices dropped to like a quarter of the average prices and some fish wouldn't even sell. So to stay in business, we started selling our fresh caught fish directly to consumers through a growing list of buyers. Our fishing friends started to notice our success and asked if we could help them sell their catch too. The timing was perfect because our buyers had been asking for more and more fish than we could supply, since the old fish from grocery stores just wouldn't cut it after they got used to buying such fresh fish from us. So we started manually connecting buyers and sellers, but as our list grew, things got hard to handle logistically. So we set out to create an easier way and came up with the Reeler mobile app. Reeler is a mobile app marketplace that gives people an affordable way to buy super fresh fish directly from local sustainable fishers. You can download the app and you'll be notified when fresh fish is posted by fishers in your area. You can learn about different kinds of fish, then order, pay, and review the seller in the app. With the growing popularity of the sharing economy, Reeler helps to democratize a massive industry that's prone to monopoly. We help to make it affordable for local people to eat fresher, healthier fish with no preservatives, while helping responsible, small-scale fishers make a solid, sustainable living. Giving more people affordable access to super fresh and hyper-local fish helps people eat better food and live a healthier life. Fish is an awesome source of protein. Fish oils help to fight inflammation and prevent heart disease. These fish are super high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential dietary fats that help you maintain healthy cholesterol levels by lowering the triglyceride in your blood. They can also help increase your HDL levels, which is the good cholesterol that helps filter the bad cholesterol, which is a major factor in heart disease. Not only is fish really good for you, it's also a great alternative to other meats in regards to cholesterol. One of our buyers on the Reeler app is a breast cancer survivor who is now a pescatarian, and she only eats fish from the Reeler app because she knows it's local and fresh with no added colors or preservatives. We launched Reeler in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store just over a year ago, and we're on track to have a great summer fishing season here in Hawaii. We have almost 500 fishers signed up in the Hawaiian Islands and about 5,000 buyers. Throughout the year, we've made slight modifications, improvements, and bug fixes to the app based on user feedback, which has been very positive. People who purchase on the app are blown away by the difference in quality and freshness compared to the fish they get in stores. Over 50% of our customers make multiple repeat purchases, and that will likely increase as we go on. So we do have a few more things to fix on the app, but one of the biggest challenges so far has been marketing, since we need to match buyers and sellers in certain areas because we're so geographically constrained. So we can't rely exclusively on natural growth, which has been good so far. So since we're a marketplace, we kind of need a critical mass that has to be met in order to match the buyers and the sellers in the same area in a short amount of time, in order to have enough buyers so that the fishermen can actually sell their catch, but also have enough sellers that the buyers don't get bored and just leave the app. So the grant would be super helpful for us. So we could do more marketing needed to get that critical mass in certain areas where we have an imbalance of more buyers than sellers, or vice versa. In the year that we've been in business, we have found that one of the best things about starting Reeler and selling fish on it has been the sense of community that we've helped to foster. It's really changed the way we look at food and our community. As a young, responsible fisherman, I feel obligated to do everything I can to help improve the current system so more people can access and afford to eat better food and live a healthier life. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Spencer, for that video. It was a real treat to hear how the ocean is a vital source of heart healthy food and how we can buy fish sustainably and economically while supporting local fishers. I know I'm going to be downloading the app because I stopped eating meat last year in order to protect my heart, and I'm eating fish and plant-based foods alone. And so this is a great thing that I plan to take advantage of. Our next innovator is Bryn Foster. Bryn is the founder of Voyaging Foods, a miller and baker of Hawaii-grown canoe plant flour-based food products.
Access and availability to healthy food is not only a challenge for many, but sourcing products made with local ingredients, especially locally made flour, is even more challenging, especially if you want gluten-free products. You might have heard the daunting statistics. Hawaii imports over 80% of our food and is a few days away from a serious food shortage. Those who live in these islands know all too well when there is a hurricane warning or mainland shutdown of imports, our grocery shelves are immediately emptied within hours. What is even more serious is that Hawaii is 100% dependent on imported flour, which makes baked good products vulnerable to changes in price and availability. Hawaii does not have flour milling factories, nor do we grow wheat. And furthermore, imported ingredients, such as wheat or imported flour, has a reduced shelf life and puts our islands at risk for pests sometimes hidden inside imported food imports. Aloha, I'm Brendan Foster, founder of Voyaging Foods. We make tasty, healthy, gluten-free products from canoe plant flour such as Hawaiian-grown taro, breadfruit, and sweet potato. We create access and availability to these underutilized category of plants that are good sources of fiber, which most gluten-free diets are missing. Voyaging Foods is a Hawaiian and women-owned social enterprise with over 3 decades of collective experience in making canoe plant-based products seen statewide in stores and markets. My team are focused on building a healthier and less wasteful regenerative food system that supports traditional farming practices and value-added flour production while creating a new economic model for marketable products such as locally made flour. Our culinary and business expertise, passion for farming, and cultural lineage ignites this vision. Not only are the majority of gluten-free products lacking in nutritious flours, but they also contain unnecessary refined ingredients. Did you know 40% of fruits and vegetables are wasted and crops graded B and C are left on the tree or fall to the ground to rot, which would have made perfectly good flour? Canoe plant flour production is critical for Hawaii to reconnect to culture, reduce waste, and contribute to doubling food production by 2030, which was set forth by the state's sustainability initiatives. When I learned how our native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander communities are disproportionately affected by heart disease and stroke, and Hawaii's bottom of the barrel ranking in U.S. economic opportunity, I decided my company served to be more than just a gluten-free food product company, but one of the solutions to a broken food system. When we based our work in the rural farming area of Wailua, which is the Ahupua'a of the North Shore of Oahu, we positively impact the health of our local economy to create opportunities for communities to increase the productivity in these rural areas. Our products that are made with canoe plant flour, such as taro flour, increase dietary fiber, as it has more than twice the fiber as potatoes and is a replacement for starches in low fiber baked goods, which also help in the proper control and management of blood sugar. So within the next year, we plan to scale our canoe plant flour production from 500 pounds to 20,000 pounds. We can make over 200,000 of nutrient-dense cookies for our community. Our specialty products will be sold direct to consumer and business channels. We're also partnering with local farmers to help grow these crops and share value-added manufacturing, which has been previously missing. We've developed a regional and decentralized value-added processing center to dehydrate, mill, and micro-produce dried plants such as canoe plant flours that I've been talking about. And how a grant from the American Heart Association will help us is we'll allow our model to establish distribution and increase our direct sales to consumers and define our product flow. We will be able to expand our educational workshops and our Wayfinder mobile mills, which will be done virtually as well. And we'll be able to hold educational demonstrations on how to produce these flours, how to cook and bake with them, and incorporate them. Our big goal is to expand our flour and products production runs and expand throughout the islands, establishing a decentralized and regional value-added food system with our mobile pop-up processing units and sharing our knowledge with farmers and homemakers. In closing, I ask you to consider a food-secure Hawaii, reigniting the health of our community based on our indigenous crops that have been grown here for thousands of years. Canoe plant flour is good for the health of our community and culture. Aloha.
Thank you, Bren, for showing us how local food can keep us heart healthy. What's amazing from just hearing from 3 of these innovators and entrepreneurs is the diverse possibilities there are in making us healthier and helping our communities overcome the discrimination and disparities in health outcomes. Next, we'll hear from Colby Takeda. Colby is the co-founder and CEO of PearSuite, which enables community health workers, non-licensed healthcare workers, and volunteers to become virtual care navigators.
Hi, my name is Kobe Takeda. I'm the co-founder and CEO of PearSuite. We're on a mission to assess and address the social drivers of health through better data. I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, but I spent time in communities across the country working to make the healthy choice easier through improving the social determinants of health. I'm also a former senior living executive, helping helped open over 3 senior living facilities and helped run my own in 2015. There I oversaw over 120 employees and helped throughout the year with transportation, meals, activities for 150 older adults. Despite working with hundreds of older adults, I struggled to help my own grandparents as I got older. Over time, grandma struggled to make her own meals and take her own medications. When grandpa stopped driving, he missed doctor appointments and couldn't see his friends as often. I bet we all can think of people in our own lives who are struggling at home. They may not be able to make 3 meals a day because they don't have healthy food and live in a food desert. They may feel lonely and socially isolated, something that affects over 40% of older adults. They might not have a safe home environment to live in, putting them at risk for falls. Or they may be slipping on their medications because they don't know how to read a label. These challenges are known as the social drivers of health. And while they may seem simple, they can impact up to 80% of health outcomes. And for older adults and underserved populations, this can be especially challenging when not addressed. And worst of all, the health organizations that are supposed to be responsible for the well-being of these individuals just have no idea. They don't know what social challenges each individual is facing and how serious they are. And it all comes down to a lack of data. Because the health care organizations lack this data, over 20 million older adults cannot safely live in their own homes, something I witnessed over and over and over again. Because of the lack of data, that older adults are constantly and unnecessarily ending up in emergency rooms, operating rooms, and nursing homes, totaling billions of dollars of healthcare waste. But it doesn't have to be that way. PearSuite is a software platform that helps the staff of health systems, community centers, and senior centers collect, visualize, understand, and act on social drivers of health data. When using the PearSuite platform, they can collect information about the lifestyle strengths, challenges, needs, and interests, all by phone and text. Our platform's smart script technology prompts staff to ask the right questions and learn about the whole person, not just patient. We learn where they live, what their environment's like, what they like to eat, what their education and background is, if they have pets and hobbies and sports. We know all of this. We learn about their challenges and actually try to provide solutions to them. This is the type of data that healthcare organizations wish they had, but don't. Our tech-enabled person-centered approach helps staff to build strong relationships with members through thoughtful conversation starters, regular check-ins, and ongoing support. Our platform then takes all that information and creates actionable dashboards, something that is so valuable for staff. Without much effort, they're presented with strengths and challenges and potential programs and services they may qualify for. PearSuite replaces paper assessments and manual tracking through Excel spreadsheets to revolutionize social care coordination, allowing staff to provide the right resources at the right time and guide staff to provide the very virtual-friendly handhold to get all this done. With our platform, organizations can cost-effectively increase engagement levels, boost health outcomes, increase independence, and lower healthcare costs. For the past 12 months, we've worked with 13 customers to impact over 10,000 lives. We've also built new partnerships and going to be reaching over 60,000 individuals this year alone. Since launching, we've helped conduct over 3,000 friendly check-ins to support loneliness and social isolation. We've helped over 5,000 individuals get vaccinated through the COVID boosters and vaccines clinics. We've helped with transportation to these clinics and helped over 4,000 individuals receive healthy food access resources, such as learning about SNAP benefits and Meals on Wheels, learning about local farmers markets and grocery store delivery options. Over 1,000 individuals have helped qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Program, help them get onto telehealth options and learn about technology use and digital literacy classes. We've also helped countless individuals learn about ELL courses, physical activity programs, and social support groups in the community. Over that same period, we've trained over 50 community health workers, medical assistants, students, and more with the PearSuite platform. And they love it. They have over 95% satisfaction rates, and the older adults getting the care have been engaged at 62% or higher, more than double the industry average. In addition to myself, our team includes a chief technology officer, Nick, who is Duke-trained engineer, has worked at Microsoft and other several startups. We also have Sasha, our chief operating officer, who has over 12 years experience in senior health, most recently with an area agency in aging, supporting over 300,000 lives. We're extremely excited about this opportunity to partner with American Heart Association and receive a grant and potentially work with them throughout their subject matter expert network, as well as their key partnerships across the country. Impacting cardiovascular health is also very key for us, specifically around social diseases, health, physical activity, nutrition, and increasing social connectivity. We would love to partner with them to co-design experiences that aligns with the medical community and can get our metrics to align with clinical outcomes. Older adults are the fastest growing population in the US today. Over 10,000 older adults turn 65 every single day, and they all need the support of Pair Suite. Pair Suite is already helping thousands of lives in Hawaii, and with our partnership with American Heart, we know we can expand this throughout the country. We're also starting with care coordination teams in health systems and community health centers, which is already a $10 billion market opportunity. But with our software, we can help seniors and scale this work to other settings such as rehab facilities, senior living, as well as home care settings. Pair Suite is on a mission to better assess and address the social stratas of health through better data. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colby, for a creative and community-based solution to the challenge of health disparities. In fact, I love how these are not just ideas. These are not pipe dreams. These are actual programs in each case that are already working, that are already helping people and changing lives. And what the EmPOWERED Accelerator program does is it gave them training, it gave them connections and tools in which to improve their programs. And of course, there'll be money for a select few at the end of this evening, but all of them benefited from the training and the MBA style program that will help them take their innovations to help their programs to the next level. So mahalo to all of you and to the people who are making this program happen. We have 4 more candidates to hear from, but first let's do another poll for everyone in the audience. What is the 3rd leading cause of death in Hawaii? Is it A, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, B, diabetes, C, cancer, or is it D, stroke? All of these diseases and conditions have listed here are deadly killers, but we wanted to know what you think is the number 3 killer in Hawaii. And what's extraordinary about the solutions offered today is many of them, if not all of them, are designed to reduce all 4 of these deadly diseases. You think about it, the impact is so great, and yet we can deal with these problems. So the answer, let's give you some more time. What is the 3rd leading cause of death in Hawaii? And I'm looking over here on my left because that's where the screen, where my screen is positioned. A is cardiovascular, B is diabetes, cancer, or stroke. And the answer is stroke. It is the 3rd leading cause of death in Hawaii, despite it's falling to the 5th leading cause nationally. So we are struggling in Hawaii with stroke much more than the nation is. And stroke is the leading cause of major disability in Hawaii. Stroke incapacitates so many people, and it is a deadly problem that we should be doing better on. The number 1 killer in Hawaii, of course, remains cardiovascular disease, and that's number 1 in both Hawaii and the nation. To continue the life-saving work of the American Heart Association, please consider making a gift. And we're going to make it easy for you. To donate, you can pull out your phone, and we're going to throw up a QR, there it is, a QR code on the screen. You can use your phone to scan that QR code, and it'll take you to the Heart Association's website to make a donation, or you can go in your browser to highheartwalk.org, which you can see there in red towards the bottom of the slide, highheartwalk.org. You can make a donation there. And that's also the place where you can sign up for the Heart Association's upcoming walk, which is Saturday, August the 6th, starting at Kapiolani Regional Park. And it's going to be a fun event. Lots of people will be there. You can learn more while on the website, or learn more when you show up for the walk. We'll put that link in the chat box for you to learn more. And we hope to see you at the Heart Walk on August 6th at Kapiolani Park. Let's hear from more of our candidates and the innovative ways they are addressing social determinants of health in our communities. Joining us next is Aaron Asu, a big believer in approving Kapuna care. Erin supports workforce development initiatives in the aging and healthcare fields through high school curriculum.
A kupuna in my community wrote a melikai that describes us change makers. Uncle Sai wrote Hikimai and Napua to describe how we choose to climb mountains. And further, we choose to climb the highest mountains. And because of this, we become our kupuna's most cherished adornment. My favorite line from that melikai is Hevehi pulama aoke kupuna. And that means that you're the most cherished adornment that your kupuna wear upon their neck. Aloha, my name is Erin Asu. Laie is home. Graduated from Kuluku High School in 2008. My purpose is to create new solutions based on community and Hawaiian history. My mission is to innovate and improve the field of aging through unusual collaborations. At first, I looked at this map of Oahu and had plenty dots on the bottom, close to Honolulu. And on the top of the island where I'm from, Ko'olaloa, had only 2 dots. And each dot represents a kupuna service. That made me worried because how are my parents going to age in place when there's no services there on their side of the island? And as I researched this topic more, I came across an article on PubMed, and the title reads, Family Caregiving and the Intergenerational Transmission of Poverty. And I felt that was something my family nearly experienced. And I don't think that's any place that any Hawaiian or anybody should be stuck between choosing to provide care for your family or choosing to burden future generations financially because of things that you sacrifice. And a big part of that is that we have so many kupuna. They call it the silver tsunami. So in 2011, baby boomers started turning over 65. And in addition to that, we don't have enough healthcare practitioners. So the solution is to build a bigger and better workforce for them. I partnered with Dr. Christy Nishida over at the UH Manoa Center on Aging. Together, we created the elder care curriculum, and our goal was to help high school students form a positive view on aging. And since 2019, we've reached over 400 students. And the most meaningful outcome of our curriculum was that in the beginning, only 2% of students thought about a career in aging. And at the end of our curriculum, at the end of our 6 lessons, 79% were interested in a career in aging. And we're really excited to scale and move from Oahu to Maui and Kauai this coming fall. But our elder care curriculum, that is a social initiative, and it thrives on grant funding. But what our elder care curriculum needs is for aging to be rebranded. And with the grant funding from this competition, I want to build a brand called Malama Ya'u, or Take Care of Me, a brand that focuses on updating and innovating the field of aging. Take Care of Me represents this duality, this relationship between kupuna and keiki. They both have kuleana to each other. Kupuna to rear, nurture, and guide our keiki, and keiki to find their kuleana and to enter the workforce of aging and to take care of either, whether it's professionally or non-professionally, we need to take care of our kupuna. And I know that we can. Hawaii knows how to take good care of their kupuna. Let's rebrand this. Let's rebrand aging together. Let's represent our kupuna well. And hevehi pula ma'aoke kupuna. Let's be their most cherished adornment that they wear upon their neck.
Thank you, Erin, for a moving presentation and for empowering our youth to get involved with aging and with healthcare. I loved her metaphor about the mountain, and when we climb a mountain, it is not done alone. We rarely climb mountains alone. We do it as a team and together. So a wonderful presentation. Thank you. Next up is Destiny Alponti. Destiny is the owner of Manifestini, a community enrichment program providing a mobile food pantry and farm-to-table culinary classes to teach nutrition and self-sufficiency.
Hi, I'm Destiny Aponte. I'm the owner of Manifestini. I created this program on the concept that we're capable of manifesting our own destiny through mana, which is the spiritual energy that collects us all. I'm developing this Grow Your Roots program on the concept of farm, feed, and empower. I believe in lifting as you climb and communal progression, which allows us to achieve more together as a unit versus as individuals. A little bit about my background. I am a chef. I started cooking when I was about 10. It became my saving grace. I had a rough childhood, experienced a lot of things most people don't overcome. And I started getting in touch with my spirituality and understood that the importance of overcoming the victim mentality. So I kind of just dove myself into culinary arts, cooked in New York City. I grew up in San Antonio, and when I was a kid, I would just watch the Food Network, and I had this little notebook where I would write down all my recipes and just was obsessed with cooking. So when I was like 18, I knew that I wanted to go live in New York City and be with the best. So my parents wanted me to go to university. I went to college and decided it wasn't for me. Junior year, dropped out on a full ride. My parents were upset, but whatever, it was my dream. I went to culinary school, and while there, I ended up working at Nobu. And started at Nobu, went to work at John George, did everything that I ever envisioned. Went to 11 Madison Park for a stage, did Beat Bobby Flay. So that kind of did the whole full circle of my culinary career. And I was 30, it was about 30 when COVID hit. And that was at the time that I just finished filming for Beat Bobby Flay. And I was like, where do I go next, right? The whole culinary is shutting down. That's what I set my mission into in life. So I just decided, you know what, when you're lost, travel. I know COVID probably wasn't the best time to be traveling, but I did the best what I could with the circumstances. And I ended up moving to Hawaii. And I stayed in Hawaii for a bit to visit my nieces and just decided I would stay here. And for me, that was my first test in non-attachment. So I left my whole apartment in New York and I told my landlord, hey, I haven't been here in 6 months. I don't need anything. I'm going to stay in Hawaii. Fast forward, I ended up applying to a job in Lanai. Turns out that my chef from Nobu, New York was the chef there. So they got me a job. I got a job there. And that was my first experience with really witnessing what the food insecurity looks like on the islands. Lanai is a privately owned island, and the people there, there's one grocery store. So if they want something that's cost effective, maybe like Costco or something, they have to pay $60 round trip to take a ferry. Not only do they have to take a ferry, from the ferry, they have to rent a car or something just to go to Costco and back. So I started seeing how the food system in Hawaii really is and how it's broken. So while I was in Lanai, I joined the Go Farm Hawaii program. And the first farm visit that we did was Uncle George Kahumoku, which he's like a Hawaiian legend musician, but he's taken me on and mentored me the past 10 months. And to the point where he's hanai'd me as his niece. So hanai is like a form of adoption in the Hawaiian culture. So I've been working directly with him. And that's kind of how I crossed paths with Bianca of the Pono Outdoor program. So it's a cultural immersion program where the kids are learning the culture and how to farm and how to be self-sufficient. And that's where my program kind of falls in, is I want to be able to educate the youth on how to be self-sufficient, teach them how to farm, the entrepreneurship side of it as well. Just so it's like they're learning how to sustain themselves, but also not only to eat, but financially. So this program, I'm teaching the kids how to farm and how to cook. And then as they develop their culinary skills, I have a mobile food pantry that we're going to utilize to feed the community. it's very important I want to teach them the importance of giving back to the community, but also the Hawaiian culture is very big on caring for the kapuna, the elderly, and the mobile food pantry allows me to bring food to the people. And a big problem with food insecurity is those that tend to be food insecure don't really have the time or the capacity to cook for themselves. So that's why I'm stressing being able to provide meals for them and also provide small kind produce that the kids are growing themselves that gives them a sense of purpose. And it creates a regenerative system so that way the kids are feeding the elderly. And what we're doing as well is CSAs. The kids are going to learn the business side of a CSA. And we're also partnering with other farmers to help them develop their business as well, going back to the whole lift as you climb communal progression, because the food system here is circular, right? But because of tourism and stuff, it kind of goes off, but we need to bring it back in so that it's staying on the island. So with the CSAs as well, I'm creating value-added products and I'm teaching the kids how to create their own products, but also working with farms. And right now I'm working on a partnership with UHMC. They have a beekeeping program. So I'm buying their honey from them at cost. I have a lilikoi balsamic that I do with it, and they're getting a percentage of the cells from each product as well. So it's kind of giving the farmers a little bit more incentives and a little bit more traction to develop their farms and continue to grow as well. Yeah, and after the first cohort, I plan on going into working with kids in foster care. The first one, I kind of want to get everything solidified. And why I want to work with kids in foster care is because once they turn 18, they become basically on their own. They can no longer be in the system. And I want to go with that because like I recently got custody of my niece and all of her siblings are in foster care. And I see firsthand the effect that it can have about not having a secure ground to be able to stand on and having support.
Wow. Thank you, Destiny, for opening up about your life, about your mission, and about the work you're doing in so many different ways. Wow, what a force for change. Now we'll hear from Ali Akina. Ali is the co-owner of Healthy Baby Hawaii, which sells and delivers organic baby food and toddler snacks to families across Oahu.
Thank you. My name is Ali Akina, and I am a mother of two. Like any mom, I always want what's best for my babies, and oftentimes put their needs before mine. Ultimately, everything I do is for them. So when my firstborn was just about to start solids, I was so excited to start feeding her, but I was also really nervous. So I started doing all the research. I looked up blog posts, listened to all of my mom friends, asked them what they did, and I ultimately came to the conclusion that I was going to make her baby food at home. So I went to the grocery store. I only shopped organic. I chopped, peeled, cut, pureed everything. I was so proud. I felt like I was killing the mom game. And then a short 2 years later, my son was ready to start solids. And things had changed a little bit. I now had a toddler and an infant, and I just didn't have the time. I still wanted what was best for him, but I just didn't have the time in my day. So I went to the grocery store to try to find him something decent to eat. I wandered the baby food shelves and our baby food aisles looking for something that I felt comfortable feeding him. I found it ironic that there were refrigerated pet food refrigerators on the end caps of all of these grocery stores, but nothing for our babies. I wish that there was a healthier, better option. So I started talking to my friend and fellow mom and now business partner, and that's how Healthy Baby Hawaii was started. We give parents more time in their day by providing them with fresh, locally made baby food and toddler snacks delivered to their door each week. You and your baby deserve the best. We deliver it. See, the problem is that shelf baby food, even organic brands, are highly processed, cooked at extremely high temperatures, and sometimes sit on the grocery store shelves for years. A lot of these purees lose nutrition when they're cooked that way, and they end up like a textureless simple sugar puree. We all know that nutrition plays a huge role in our overall health, even more so for developing babies and toddlers. The food you feed your baby in the first 3 years can affect their physical and mental development and have a lasting impact on their immune system. Healthy Baby Hawaii is the only fresh baby food company in Hawaii. We're the only ones providing this integral service for our community. Until Healthy Baby Hawaii was started, moms like me only had 2 choices: make their baby food at home, which is time consuming, or buy off the shelves at the grocery store. We have recently partnered with the Hawaii Food Bank to give back to our community. We know not everyone can afford our product and service, but we also know how important it is for all babies to have access to a healthy meal. For every purchase that's made through our website, we donate 2 meals to moms and babies in need. Healthy Baby Hawaii has been in business for over 4 years now. We have 80 weekly subscribers and roughly 30 a la carte orders a week. Our customer return rate is 73%, and our average customer lifespan is 11 months. We have many moms that come back to us after having their second babies. In fact, our very first monthly subscriber is now back with her third. I think we have such a loyal customer base because we are simply moms helping other moms. It started with the babies, for sure, but now we realize it's really about the mamas. We create a safe and trustworthy space for our customers and can relate to their struggles and experiences because we've both been in their shoes. Feeding your baby solids is very exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking. We offer a customer experience big baby food brands can't. Our offerings are customizable, convenient, and made by moms that just get it. Moms want the best for their babies and want convenience and time to spend with their families. As a mom, I can definitely speak to this. The mental load can be overwhelming. We're often burnt out, overworked, overstimulated, and overtired. The to-do list is forever looming and always growing. If you can just take one thing off of your to-do list, it can be such a relief. And that is what we strive to do at Healthy Baby Hawaii. A grant from the AHA would allow us to automate our process so that we can help more families have access to healthier baby food. This grant would also help us launch our superfood baby cereal, so we can change the way our babies eat with their very first bites. This new product contains local superfoods such as kalo and ulu grown by Hawaii farmers and will inherently contribute to Hawaii's economy. The grant money would be used for machinery, testing, packaging, and marketing of this signature product. Launching this product will also allow us to scale our business outside of Hawaii and gain more traction for our service-based food business. Parenting is hard enough. Let us take a little off your plate and put it on theirs. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you, Ali, for a great organization and for a great idea. And good luck with your idea and in the competition today. Now our final candidate, Noe Foster. With the help of 2 other Native Hawaiians, Noe Foster started Health Tech Apps, which utilizes artificial intelligence, machine learning technologies to help people tell their health story and improve their brain health.
Hello, friends. Aloha. I'm Noe Foster, co-founder of Health Tech Apps. Our story began 10 years ago with 3 Native Hawaiian co-founders. We are on a moonshot mission to improve the brain health of millions of people everywhere. And we're starting with screenagers. Who? I'm sure you know a few. Screenagers are teenagers and young adults who experience much of life in front of a screen. As toddlers, they tapped or swiped on a screen long before they ever reached for a book. The COVID pandemic pushed screenagers' mental health off a catastrophic cliff. Social determinants of health like gender identity and ethnicity put screenagers in a free fall. In March, more than half, 52% of screenagers reported feeling down, depressed, and or hopeless several days in the past 2 weeks. Alarmingly, 24% of screenagers reported suicidal thoughts, and it jumps to 39% for LGBTQ plus screenagers. Sadly, in the last 4 years, we've seen a disturbing trend. 6 of the 9 deadliest school shootings were by gunmen 21 years old or younger. Our minds are not designed to absorb and process this much violence, loss, and grief. The morning after the Uvalde, Texas school shooting, I was up before the sun. In my kitchen, I added cold water to a bowl of Bisquick flour and stirred. I never bake biscuits on a weekday, but today the smell of baking biscuits calmed my heavy heart as I waited for a 6:30 a.m. Zoom call. The facilitator spoke first. Noi, I've been thinking about your technology. How could it be used to prevent this kind of tragedy? In truth, that's the same question that kept me up all night. So here's my answer. We need a rocket, and not just any rocket, but a brain health rocket to achieve our moonshot mission to save precious lives. Our team has the blueprints, AI technology, and the experience to complete this mission. In April, Apple approved and published our free My Health Story iPhone app. It's the first brain health app designed in Olelo, Hawaii, native Hawaiian language and translated into English. Why? Because ethnicity, culture, and language for native Hawaiian students helps to shape their identity and purpose. These social determinants of health influence their decision to persist in school and graduate. Earning a university degree directly impacts the student's financial stability long-term, also a social determinant of health. With our app, 88% of screenagers reported suicidal thoughts in the last 2 weeks. Immediately, our app pushed out a notification to each of these screenagers that read, "Hey, you matter to us. We want you to be safe," along with the phone number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. We partnered with the Coup Project, an Instagram Native Hawaiian community of over 70,000 followers. In May, our Instagram post for Stop the Stigma attracted more than 114,000 plays. Together, we're igniting a movement. If awarded, we will devote the American Heart Association funding to build and launch our brain health rocket called MindCloud. MindCloud is built on the same AI and video technology as My Health Story with important enhancements. The free iPhone app will be in English and Spanish. Users create short selfie videos responding to prompt questions selected through AI sentiment analysis. The video's word cloud, social determinants of health, and brain health metrics are captured in the app and then become part of the user's personal brain health record. Our machine learning then digests all of the de-identified data and produces data stories for our customers, who are universities, health plans, and federal agencies. Our customers use the data to develop policies and programs that enrich the lives of screenagers. With a click, MindCloud users will connect to the JED Foundation's vast mental health resource center. JED provides mental health curriculum and training to more than 360 universities. We're formalizing a strategic partnership with them to introduce MindCloud to 4.8 million students. Screenagers want to feel safe, safe with their thoughts and safe from the paralyzing fear of the known and unknown, safe not to have all the answers, and safe to explore possibilities. MindCloud creates a safe place for millions of screenagers to land as they navigate the challenges of life and new frontiers.
Wow, thank you, Noe. What a unique organization. What a unique use of cutting edge AI and machine learning technology. Wow, I'm just impressed by you and all of the candidates and the way you shared your stories, how you personalized it, and the ideas that you've come up with. I don't think I could decide between these outstanding individuals and their innovative approaches. Thank goodness we have our panel of judges to do that job for us. Let's hear it for our judges as they leave for a few minutes to tackle this very tough job from selecting amongst these 8 people. So thank you for your work, judges. Come back to us soon after you've made your decision. While we give our judges time to deliberate, it's your chance to vote for your favorite candidate. You have 2 minutes to cast your vote now. You only get 1 vote for a single candidate, so choose wisely. The candidate with the most votes will receive a $5,000 grant. To vote, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the chat. There it is right there. It says vote HI, empoweredtoserve.org. So 2 ways to vote. And while we wait for your votes to come in and for the judges to deliberate, I'd like to invite Molly Johnson, VP of Development for the American Heart Association Hawaii, to share some remarks and special acknowledgements.
Thank you, Steve, for being an amazing master of ceremonies this evening. And wow, how inspiring were those pitches? Since 2018, the American Heart Association has reduced deaths from stroke and heart disease by 13 and 15%, respectively. However, the association realized it was not addressing one of the largest barriers of access to health, social determinants of health. For this pivot to be successful, the association looked to the robust health equity work already being done in our communities by local organizations and individuals and assess how it can best support them, whether that's lifting and amplifying their work, collaborating on community-led initiatives, or providing funding. The American Heart Association recognizes the imperative need to develop health-focused businesses across the islands. Now more than ever, we must support innovative solutions that directly impact the health of Hawaii and our under-resourced communities. This shift in the association's focus led to grant programs such as this, our Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator, and funding for nearly all federally qualified health centers across Hawaii to address hypertension, which is a key risk factor for heart disease and stroke. In addition, the association is committed to meeting people in their community, whether that is at a hospital, their local church, or in the workplace. The association will be there. While every community has its own unique strengths and challenges, when it comes to achieving health equity, tonight we focus on Hawaii and the impact that is needed most in our islands. Let's take a quick look at how social determinants of health affect those most vulnerable in our communities.
Hey, what's up? Basketball practice was hard yesterday. Yeah. But I like the new coach. Yeah, she's pretty great. Wonder what she's gonna have us do today. Hey, what'd you guys pack for lunch? I had a sandwich and some carrots. I have carrots too. I have an apple and some chicken.
So how was school today?
Good. Miss Lenny liked my drawing of the turtles.
Oh yeah? Well, do you have any homework?
Yeah,
For what?
math.
Is someone coming to get you?
Yeah, someone should be coming.
You know, he said he had a headache, and his fever seemed a little high again this morning.
We'll make sure that he's feeling better in no time.
He's not feeling good.
We can't afford to send him to the doctors right now, okay? He's a kid. Kids get sick. He just needs rest.
I guess so.
Is this one okay?
That's perfect. See if you can find a couple more like that.
Okay. Can I get 2 pizza sticks, please?
Okay, that'll be $3.50.
Actually, can I just get one?
Good job, team. Bring it in.
Hey, Kai. Hey, Noah. Wish you would join our basketball team. Our jerseys are so nice. It's a lot of fun. Oh, my mom said maybe next year. Well, my mom packed me 2 apples. I'm not gonna eat both. You want one? Oh, you sure? Yeah, here. Wow, thanks. No problem. Well, we better hurry to Miss Lenny's class. Don't want to be late. Yeah, let's go.
Thank you, Molly, for that video and for highlighting the ways that the American Heart Association is championing for health equity by identifying and removing barriers to healthy living and quality of life. This program, the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator, is just such an important part of the Heart Association's work, and mahalo for that. And, I came to Hawaii permanently 36 years ago. And one of the things I learned quite quickly is people are not just worried about the outcomes of their own children, but of other people's children. And that's a wonderful thing about living in the islands. So let's do our third and final poll of the evening. And our question is, what is the average life expectancy in Hawaii? And our 4 options are A, 77 years, B, 81 years, C, 85, and D, 90. And, no matter what the real answer is, we know we can increase life expectancy if we tackle the issues we've seen tonight. It's so heartening to see all these different ideas that all work together in different ways to help increase our life expectancy and to help increase the life expectancy of the people who suffer from those disparities, that live in the wrong zip code, that live in an area where there isn't as much access to healthcare, and in an area where most of the people do not have a college education. And it's a responsibility for all of us to play a role in overcoming those disparities. So what is the average life expectancy in Hawaii? We're gonna give you a few more seconds. It's 81 years. 81 years, that's a pretty good compared to the national standard, which is a few years lower than that. But here's the shocking news, that even in Hawaii, the Heart Association has identified an 11-year life expectancy difference between Hawaii Kai and Waimanalo, 2 zip codes that are right next to each other. So that short distance, a distance you could drive in a few minutes, or that you could walk from one to the other, take a bike, and that will add or subtract 11 years from your life. There is no more powerful way to see health disparities than that. And it's stories and numbers like these that serve as powerful reminders of all the work we have yet to do here in Hawaii. We all need to join as a relentless force for longer, healthier lives. And together we can dismantle the social determinants of health that constrict our communities, that cut lives short. And today, the American Heart Association is so excited to provide the grant funding for 3 change makers, 3 of those 8 change makers in the community. And before we learn about the 3 winners, I want to point out that all 8 of those people went through the EmPOWERED program. And so all 8 of them have been given new tools and new skills and new connections in order to serve their communities. So in a way, all 8 of them are winners. So congratulations to all of our change makers. And you can tell from that sound that now is the time you've been waiting for. I've received word from our judges that the scores have been totaled, and we have our 2 grantees for the first ever Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator in Hawaii. And I invite our judges to join us on screen, Cheryl Onsi, Bella Hughes, and Kimmy Timpson, to announce our grant recipients. I think they need a moment to turn on their cameras and their microphones. So we're just gonna pause a moment while they handle that. And in the meantime, I encourage everybody to go to the chat box, because there's a lot of really encouraging comments there from everyone in the audience. The support that these people have, these social entrepreneurs have in the community, is just outstanding. And I congratulate them all for the work that they're doing, and wish them so much success in the future in all of their endeavors. And I'm just so impressed with the range of ideas, the range of possibilities that they're bringing to Hawaii. And I note that at least a few of them could even take their Hawaii ideas and roll them out on a national scale, because they're just so impressive and powerful. Gabby, do we have any word on our judges? I've got my phone here to get a text from you in case you want to signal me. And
we are all
just
set, Steve. This is Kimmy.
Okay, should I just shut up then?
Yeah, I believe we're all set. Thank you, Steve. What an awesome, amazing evening it's been. We just saw 8 change makers present ways that they are making their communities healthier by addressing social determinants of health and health equity. All the candidates inspired the judging panel indeed. It was a tough job. So this evening, we will start off by presenting the fan favorite. The community has voted, and tonight's fan favorite recipient is, I pretend I have an envelope, my cell phone. I have the results here. Our fan favorite recipient is Erin Asu. Congratulations, Erin Asu of Elder Care Education. We're so proud of you. Erin's elder care curriculum focuses on the values of family, community, and it builds a respect for kupuna and the struggles of aging. Her passion for her community and her commitment to improve health equity and access, it is no surprise that she was selected as our fan favorite. Oh my God, Erin.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, and I think I was waiting for Steve, but I think I may just jump right in here, if that's okay, Steve.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, wonderful. Again, I'm Cheryl Onsi. I echo Kimmy's words. All 8 of our entrepreneurs, our innovators are absolutely amazing. We had the pleasure, the 3 of us, of speaking with them one-on-one, and their passion and their commitment and the work that they're putting into improving our community is really inspiring. Watching this entire presentation this evening, I don't know about you, I got choked up a couple of times. It's just very inspiring, and we're lucky to have people like all of you in our community and working on behalf of our community. So everybody is a winner, as they say, but the second place grant will go to, are you ready? A drum roll. Paris Suite and Colby Takeda. Yay, Colby. We were so impressed with the innovation of Colby's idea, the really substantial health impact that Paris Suite will have, and most especially with the scalability of it. We did think very carefully about this. Colby, the fact that you're already testing in California and Colorado, and that you intend to use this grant gift to increase the opportunities for scaling your business up are terrific, and congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. And congratulations to all the participants. Really enjoyed working with you all.
Well done.
Congratulations. And just echoing my fellow judges' comments, this was really, really inspiring for the three of us, just to have the opportunity to learn what change makers, like all 8 of you are, the vision that you're putting forth that is so, so rooted in community and health, but has this fundamental ability to scale and to change lives, really left us all very excited about the future. And, you know, having judged things before, this was by far the most challenging to really narrow it down, because each and every one of you were just brilliant, inspiring. And, you know, have to say again, you really are all winners to be where you are. And we can't wait to watch all of you continue to make change and grow. But that being said, there is one first prize winner. And I wish I could do as good a drum roll as my colleagues just did. But without further ado, I am honored to announce that our inaugural first place finalist, who will be receiving a $25,000 grant, is Noah Foster from Health Tech Apps. Congratulations, Noah. We are so excited for you. And, you know, one of the things that really rang true about your model is what you've created with technology is so locally resonant, but truly nationally and globally relevant. We can't wait to see how you're going to continue to change lives within our own community as well as across the world. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mahalo nui to everyone. We so appreciate this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We get to build our rocket. Thank you for your help.
And passing it back to Steve.
You know, congratulations to our winners. And thank you to all of our candidates for being part of the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator in Hawaii. This is the first year. We know this accelerator is going to do more great work helping these social entrepreneurs to succeed and to help change lives. Wow, the program is challenging, and we know we are so proud of you for making it to the finals. The work you are doing to improve the health and well-being of our community is truly inspiring. We wish you luck as you all grow your businesses. You can find more information on all our candidates and their business ventures at empoweredtoserve.org/Hawaii. Learn more about them, support them, please. A big mahalo to our judges. Wow, what a difficult job they had choosing from among those 8 candidates. That's hard work, and I'm grateful you were able to do that. Thank you for supporting this program and the health of our communities. Don't forget to follow our first place winner, Noe, and her team at Health Tech Apps. They're going to be competing at the National Business Accelerator finale in October. Check back at empoweredtoserve.org for details about that competition, and maybe you can come out to support them in some way. The Heart Association will also follow up with, include all these links in a follow-up email to everybody who registered for this call. Thank you for joining us today. That's the end of our showcase. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and lending your time and attention to these wonderful community change makers. Have a great night. Aloha.
Thank you, Steve. Well done. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
You put me on a roller coaster, fly me on a plane. You send me to another planet, get inside my brain. I knew right when I met you I would never be the same. But I let you take me over, girl, so I'm the one to blame. Oh. You make all my screws come loose. Got me perfectly confused. Always find a way to mess turns me up and drives me wild. I love the way you make me lose my mind. Lose my mind. You make me crazy, and I kinda like it. You show me that apple, girl, and I wanna bite it. So crazy that I gotta have it, and I never wanna get out of this straight jacket.